Welcome to today's show, Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, passionate, inspirational speaker, author, poet, and entrepreneur. Welcome to Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I want to give a big thank you and shout out to all of you listening around the world. I'm delighted and so grateful that you tuned in today. I sure hope you're enjoying a fabulous day and that you're having a fantastic week, because you know what? In the grand song of the universe, life is so very precious, and it's also very short. So I hope you're making a difference in your own life today, because when you do, you also make a difference in somebody else's life. Now, a lot of folks want to make their life count for something. And they ask me, Dr. Gloria, how do you do that? Well, it's very simple, very simple. You make your life count day by day, step by step, moment by moment, every single day, 365, 24/7. That's what Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count is all about. Now, you can learn more about Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count by visiting the Gloria Burgess website. That's GLORIA, B as in boy, URGESS.com. That's the Gloria Burgess website, GLORIA, BURGESS.com, or by visiting Facebook. That's Facebook.com/DR for Dr. Dr. Gloria Burgess, PhD /. Now, today, I want to talk with you about leadership. One person's leadership journey and how she orchestrates incredible, life-changing leadership journeys for others. Now, you know, if you're a regular listener, leadership is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. My very special guest today is Danielle Harvey Stinson. Now, Danielle was also my guest last week. So, if you missed that broadcast, you want to be sure to listen to it. Last week, our focus was a conversation with Danielle about her journey to work-life balance. I know a lot of our listeners really enjoyed hearing from Danielle. I know you will too. Now, she shared a little bit about her work and her amazing journey to the work she does now at the University of Southern California in her role as Assistant Vice President for Alumni Relations. Along the way, she shares many, many pearls of wisdom about how she thinks about and how to achieve work-life balance. So who is Danielle Harvey Stinson? Well, as I just mentioned, she's AVP of Alumni Relations at USC. And in addition to pursuing her career, she wears many other hats. Danielle is a mom. She has 6 children. How cool is that? She's also a passionate, lifelong learner. She describes herself as someone who thrives, who flourishes on creativity. Now, to me, she's also a valued and trusted friend, and I'm blessed to count her as one of my amazing mentors. Now, if I had to describe Danielle in one word, I'd say encourager. Yes, encourager. If I had to say 2 words, I'd also say she's very, very inspiring. Danielle is a leader who thinks outside the box, and she's one of the most humble leaders I know. She makes a difference in her own life and in the lives of many others throughout the world in her work at USC. Now, I met Danielle about almost 10 years ago now. She was searching for a keynote speaker for one of the alumni conferences at USC, the USC Women's Alumni Conference. And at that time, I was in the process of expanding my reach because I wanted to impact more leaders, and in particular, more women leaders. Well, when we met, I have to tell you, when I heard Danielle talk about her work at USC, she was absolutely passionate. Talk about love. Her enthusiasm was positively contagious. And I thought, yes, I'd love to work with this young woman who is truly on a mission, who is truly on fire about her work. Well, I'm also a USC alum, which made it a perfect match. Danielle has worked at USC for almost 14 years in Alumni Relations. She has a bachelor's degree in education from USC's Rossier School of Education, and she's currently pursuing an executive master's degree in leadership from USC's Price School of Public Policy. Now, as the AVP for Alumni Relations, Danielle and her team are responsible to and for about 400,000 people, right? People all over the world. She and her team provide them with an array of incredible programs, services, and events throughout the year after year. I know one of the many events is the USC Women's Alumni Conference, which she'll tell you a lot more about today during my conversation with her. Now, as I just mentioned, Danielle is positively committed to making an impact on the world, and she has a particular interest in making an impact to empower women leaders to transform their world. Danielle says that, among others, her mother had an enormous impact on her life and has shaped her vision for her work and her life. During my conversation with Danielle, you'll hear more about her story. You'll also hear about some of the people and moments and events that shaped and formed Danielle into a person of influence. People and moments and events who have shaped and formed her as a leader, all with a particular focus of serving other leaders. Now, in many ways, in her outlook on life and in her work, Danielle pulls together the many threads of what my own life and work are all about. You've heard me talk about these threads and themes on this show, the themes of gratitude, authenticity, generosity, vulnerability, strength, passion, presence, hope, and possibility. We are truly blessed to have her as one of our honored guests on this program. Can I just tell you something? Danielle and I had a fabulous conversation, and I'm so excited to have this amazing leader with us again today. This is going to be a marvelous show. You don't want to miss a single word of it. So grab your earbuds, put on your walking shoes, lace them up, or maybe you want to relax in your favorite chair. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or a nice cool glass of water. You're going to want to take notes today. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. Now, before I jump into today's show, I just want to take a moment to welcome you if you're just joining us. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria. This is Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'd like to extend a special welcome to those of you who are joining my show, or if you're joining Talk Network Radio for the very first time. You're in for a special treat. I'm excited to have you listening today, and I'm deeply honored that you've allowed me to be part of your day so you can be inspired by ideas and resources to make your life count. Today's program is all about giving back. One leader's journey and how she orchestrates those leadership journeys for others. Danielle, I would love to hear about the scope of the networks that you support across USC. I know you're responsible for various programs and services and events for a huge population. And I'd also like to focus in on the Women's Conference because that's how you and I first connected. And I'd also like to give you some time to maybe share about that conference and maybe promote it a little bit as well through the program. Okay?
Awesome. Well, thank you. I can speak about the Women's Conference ad nauseum, nonstop. If this were a telethon, you wouldn't need to book any other speakers. So I'll start with the different networks that we have and then go into the Women's Conference. So just to refresh, I guess, my answer from before about some of the different programs that I'm on and our approach to alumni engagement here at USC. it's very important for the university to maintain that connection. So we have things that we call the Trojan family, and that's really the alumni, the parents, the students, the whole gamut of anyone connected to or tied to USC. And specifically, we also say around here, you may be a student for 4, 5+ years, but you're an alum and a Trojan for life. And at USC, I will say that is one of the things that convinced me to come and be a student here at USC. And I was deciding between other universities. But when I got to see that Trojan family and that Trojan connection up close and personal, I was blown away and said, yes, sign me up right now. So now, as the person responsible for maintaining that connection and hoping to cultivate that connection, we're approaching engagement in an alumni-centric approach. So that means, as I shared a little bit earlier, we're trying to find ways that alumni will feel connected to the university in a way that is personal and meaningful for them. So for some people, if they are very connected through their industry or their profession that they've chosen, we have built networks around that. And right now we have 4 of those: entertainment, real estate, education, and entrepreneurship. And the wonderful thing about the networks is it doesn't matter what your major was when you were a student. So you could have majored in law as a graduate student. You could have majored in political science as an undergraduate student. You could have majored in something like writing or directing in the School of Cinematic Arts. But now, whatever profession you're in, let's say you're in real estate. So, we hear all the time, I'm working in a field that I didn't major in, or I majored in one thing, now I'm working in another. I'm one of those people. I majored in education, but now I'm working in Alumni Relations, which is essentially public relations or communications, et cetera. So these networks are allowing alumni to break down those barriers or those silos that we have, because perhaps, let's say you went through the Marshall School of Business or the Annenberg School of Communication. Whatever where you started, I should say it this way. It doesn't matter where you started. It just matters what you care about and what you're doing right now. So with those networks, we've had them, I want to say, for about 3 or 4 years now, and each one has started at different degrees. But we're starting to see alumni who graduated 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, never had a connection to the university before, except, they'll get together and watch a game with some of their classmates. But now they're coming back and going, oh, this is of interest to me. This is of value to me. The speakers that we bring together, or just the opportunity to network with other Trojans in that field, has been very valuable to them. Very similarly, we're also looking at that lens, not just with professions, but also what are some topics or programs that are, or shared interests is how we talk about them, that are of interest. And that includes our age-based program. So let's say you're under the age of 35 and you need career advice. Well, the career advice we give an alum who's under the age of 35 versus the career advice we would give to an alum who's over the age of 50 is very different. So we also look at where are you in your lifespan and how can we curtail or make our programming specific to those needs. It's been very important. And now to segue over to the Women's Conference, we have been for many, many years looking at alumni identity. So we have our traditional Asian Pacific alumni, Black alumni, Latino alumni association, and our Lambda LGBT alumni associations that have boards, are full-blown alumni associations. They have advisory councils, they do galas, they do scholarship fundraising, and then they also award scholarships from those organizations. Similarly, we have women's groups that fall sort of under this category, as well as our Alumni Veterans Network that falls under